It's the best way to feel alive and a part of a community without ever having to leave the house. MMORPGs, or just MMOs for many, are the largest games made that allow players to create their own path, level up, complete unique quests, and be the closest a gamer can get to creating their own virtual life with sort of a fantasy twist. The appeal that these bring is the ability to spend endless hours in a game and still be able to find new adventures, especially when developers continuously put out updates that add to the experience. What makes these MMOs so unique, though, is the ability for a player to truly play how they want. Sure, these games all have quests that every player can complete, but when and how you do it is almost completely up to you. This allows players the option to pick and choose when developing the storyline for their character. But which MMOs really do it the best? Which ones give you the most freedom, create the most unique stories, and in some cases, create friendships? Hey guys, I'm Mike from Insider Gaming, and these are the 6 best MMORPGs of all time. Before we get into it, we know that there are plenty of games to choose from, so we want to know what your favorite MMOs are as well. Leave a like on this video and let us know in the comments, and they could be used in a future video. Starting at number 6, we have EVE Online. First launched in 2003, EVE Online continues to be one of the most popular MMOs with one of, if not the most dedicated player bases in gaming history. The game has a seemingly limitless universe and is one game based more on human interaction, more so than NPCs and random quests. Everything in EVE Online happens in real time, and the game happens within a singular universe as opposed to different servers and realms. EVE Online is an MMO with a sense of community more than any other game on this list. To truly understand that, look no further than when American diplomat Sean Smith, known in-game as Vile Rat, was killed in an attack on the US consulate in Benghazi. His passing brought wars to a halt and saw a massive memorial held along with an in-game monument being erected that remains available to this day. At number 5, it's The Elder Scrolls Online. The Elder Scrolls series is easily one of the most popular video game franchises of all time. Elder Scrolls V Skyrim has been a defining game over the last decade plus, with successful re-release after successful re-release. Luckily, Bethesda has turned around and turned that love for the popular RPG into its very own MMO. Now, during the beginning of its life, Elder Scrolls Online wasn't as well received as some of the other games that made this list. Still, despite being poorly reviewed at launch, Bethesda continued to release new content and updates regularly, which made it much more successful over time. Elder Scrolls Online allows players to explore the depths of the different lands in the series, with many new quests, dungeons, and expansions being released each year. It lets you create a story unique to yourself that's deeper and more personal than anything in the mainline games. The game has seen over 23 million people sign up in its lifespan, with nearly 1 million daily players. It really is a great story of not giving up on a game at launch and turning it into something special. At number 4, we have Lost Ark. Released first in Korea in 2019 and in Europe and North America in 2022, Lost Ark feels like the perfect blend of fantasy and adventure. While some of the characters may be a bit more over the top compared to a game like Elder Scrolls Online, Lost Ark was still very well received by MMO fans and critics alike. The game features a lot of depth, which is what's made it so great. It's primarily a PvE game with PvP elements, but what makes it so good is the combat system. It's a system that's so customizable with how you play that it feels like no two characters ever fight the same way. Mastering the combat and skill combos is one of the most fun aspects of the game, and to me continues to be a reason to go back to it time and time again. It's also a game that took upwards of $85 million to develop, making it one of the more expensive MMOs to create. And while money obviously isn't everything, this still goes to show how much work and time was put into this massive game. And with over 15 million subscribers worldwide, it's clear that the developers did something right here. Coming in at number 3, it's New World. When it launched, New World was a breath of fresh air for MMO players. The game goes back to the roots of the genre, giving players more realistic graphics and a semi-more realistic take on the medieval genre. When it released in 2021, New World quickly rose to popularity with over 15 million total subscribers and some of the biggest names in streaming on Twitch and YouTube diving into the game and giving it even more exposure than that. Now in New World, players join one of 3 factions: the Marauders, the Syndicate, or the Covenant. You then work to complete tasks that will either help your faction or hurt opposing ones, while also improving your skills. What makes the game stand out though is that you can't just do everything alone. You'll need to rely on other players, whether it be with combat, resources, or services, to really succeed, creating a nice community within your faction. And while the game might not be as popular as it was when it was first released, it still has a pretty decent player base going in 2024 with nearly 150,000 daily players. At number 2, we have World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft has been around since 2004, making it one of the longest running MMOs ever. Like all other MMOs on this list, the game has seen continuous development since its launch, with new features, expansions, characters, quests, stories, and more added on a regular basis. The gameplay is also some of the best you'll find in any game, let alone an MMO, and the true freedom to express yourself allows players to tell the story of their characters in ways not many games have been able to achieve before or since. What makes World of Warcraft so memorable though is its crossover into the mainstream. The game has spawned memorable memes such as the infamous Leroy Jenkins moment, while also having its own live-action movie. Even shows like South Park have dedicated entire episodes to the game. And now, in its 20th year on the market, there are over 134 million subscribers with 2.5 million daily players. It's the most popular game in the history of Blizzard, and it doesn't seem to be going anywhere anytime soon. And coming in at number 1, it's RuneScape. When deciding on the top spot on this list, it felt like a toss-up between World of Warcraft and RuneScape. And to be honest, you really can't go wrong with having either title as the best. RuneScape first released in 2001 and remains the most popular free-to-play MMO of all time. Between old school RuneScape and modern RuneScape, the game has over 2.6 million daily players. RuneScape has no true linear story, allowing every player to set their own goals and objectives. Want to be known as the best fisherman and cook in the land? You can do that. What about being the most feared criminal in Yielinor? You can do that too. On top of that, what makes RuneScape so popular is its accessibility. The game needs very little in terms of hardware power to run, making it a great game to play on the go on your laptop or mobile device. Also, unlike World of Warcraft and others, there is no subscription needed to play RuneScape. It's entirely free to play with the option to pay for a premium membership if you'd like, that unlocks some extra skills and features. Do you agree with our list? Leave a like and let us know your thoughts in the comments on what you think are the best MMOs of all time. And be sure to subscribe to Insider Gaming with your notifications turned on to get new videos delivered daily.